Good afternoon, everyone. I think we probably have more people to come in, but so I'll give them a couple more minutes. Yes, I do see. Yes, no green. Regretfully, after sending my message to everyone in Slack, I realized I don't own any green clothing items. So that puts me up for criticism here. So if anyone would like to, please have at it in the chat or aloud while we wait for a few more people to enter in. Yes, go mustard yellow. You're right. That is mustard color. You can get rough, get derogatory. We're good. I'm all at it. Just take me out. Take me down. Don't let my ego get too big. But yeah, so yeah, I don't own any. I'll get a mustard bottle here in a minute. Wow. Get out. All right, Secretary Gonzalez will leave this meeting. I'm getting out. Oh, that's funny. All right. We might be able to try for quorum here. So let's start that. Don't you attack my Minecraft world. Is another person sharing? All right. Eric, you're sharing sound. I can't share until you stop sharing sound. Thank you. All right. Me here. Secretary Gonzalez.
Here.
Senator Smith.
Here.
Senator Miller-Holcomb. Senator Miller-Holcomb. Here. Thank you. Senator Fitzsimmons.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Pastor.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Mutombo. Senator Mutombo. Okay. Senator Lewis. Senator Lewis. Oh, okay. Senator Doris. Senator Doris. Por favor. All right. Senator Meldrum Roy. Senator Meldrum Roy. Senator Ewing.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Sanchez. Senator Sanchez. Senator Taylor. Oh, hang on. Chat message.
Here.
Okay. Thank you. And then Senator Doris is here. Senator Griggs.
Here.
Thank you. Senator DeMarco.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Tamang. Senator Tamang. Okay. Senator Busal Chetri.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Byrne. Senator Byrne. Oh, all right. Senator Leinhard.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Shafaya. Senator Shafaya. Okay. We have met quorum for today, so we'll move right into the agenda. And part of the agenda, which of course you can see the minutes, or the position reports in the minutes. Train of thought just derailed there for a minute. Communication. So I'm going to make a motion to include another bit in the communications, and I cannot remember what it was in particular. Let me take a look here.
Dunbar committee renovation.
Thank you. Let's make a motion into communication at the Dunbar committee renovation. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Consent?
Consent.
Opposition? Okay, no opposition, I hear. So we'll do that. And, just renovation. Okay, so first things on communication, student media group in May, they will be looking for a new student at large representative. So keep an eye out for that. And then now we're into that communication, the Dunbar renovation. So I will leave that to Vice President Effinger. This was his addition to discuss.
Thank you very much. And I believe Representative Higgins is here, so I'll promote her to panelist real quick. I'm going to share my screen. The Dunbar Renovation Committee has come to a point of discussing the restroom situation in the new Dunbar Hall. And there's been a proposal to change the style of the restrooms. So instead of having a male wing and a female wing, there would only be one set of restrooms that would be non-gendered. I'm going to share my screen to show you kind of a rough idea of what that would look like. But basically, as you can see here, it is a complete flow-through design, and everyone would have their own stall, and then, for example, sinks would be out front. This is something we can explore. It's not a guaranteed option. There would be budget implications as well as trying to work around Michigan State Code if this is something we'd like to have implemented. But we're trying to get student feedback on whether we believe that this is the course of the future and what we should do, or if we should stick with our stereotypical males on one side, females on the other, and then have two individual rooms that are family restrooms or non-gender restrooms. At this point, I'd like to open it up to discussion to see what you guys feel, and I can report back to the committee.
Yeah, right now, no one's speaking. If I'm seeing the chat, if anyone has any comments or questions regarding what Vice President Effinger has presented, or any suggestions, Vice President Morris, go ahead.
Yeah, so I told Nautilus to see if any senators wanted to speak first, but I think this is a really great step in the right direction and where Western needs to be heading towards in terms of inclusion. So I like the proposal as written, where it has the center and the things up at the front. I wouldn't really change it.
If I can just throw something in there too. Today we talked about like the difference between the two, and President Montgomery has like made it known to the committee that he was hoping for some more gender inclusive bathrooms in the building, since it is going to be so, like the newest thing on campus when it's finally done in 23.
Vice President Barada.
I appreciate you putting in that like piece of information, Representative Higgins. I think that was important too. As someone who spent a lot of time in the old Dunbar Hall, like I used to have all of my classes in there, would be in there all day. I definitely support this. I mean, anything is better than the bathrooms that were in there before because they were just old and really dirty. But I think like having like a more open concept, as well as, you know, just being more gender inclusive, like it would finally, in my opinion, be an opportunity for Western to kind of stick its foot out and do something. Like we don't tend to be the people to like take first action when it comes to things. We kind of tend to wait for other people to take the lead. I feel like especially when it comes to like issues related to inclusion or issues related to just equity. I think we've seen that throughout this year. So I would like to see Western kind of like stick its foot out and set this example to other universities. So in that sense, I definitely support.
Vice President Theory.
Yeah, I echo everything that Emma Barada and Alexis have said, and I think it would also be a good idea, if you haven't already, to bring in Vice President McCorkle into the conversation. I'm sure she's able to provide some, you know, more technical terminology about inclusion and why this is important, and you know, maybe point to other universities that may have something like this, because I know, to Emma's point, Western and other universities sometimes don't want to be the first one. So if we can point to other universities and say, hey, like, other universities have done this and it's worked okay. I think some of the initial pushback is going to be, we always hear, oh, well, there's going to be more sexual assault and everything, which is not actually the case. If someone is going in there to sexually assault someone, they're going to do that regardless of the bathroom situation. So I hope that message can be shared to the group if that's pushback that is received.
Thank you all. Is there anyone who would have any negative feedback regarding this?
I'm just gonna say this. I know I'm gonna sound like a bad person after what everybody said, but I think that I would personally feel uncomfortable. I don't really know how to describe it or anything. It's probably because it's a new situation and like just something I've never experienced before. But my initial reaction is like, I would be uncomfortable with this.
Thank you. That's a very valid opinion. Does anybody else feel similarly?
I just have what was going off of what Senator just said. Wasn't nothing like uncomfortable to, but I was just gonna suggest maybe do a survey, because for like inclusivity, I don't think like men really should have like a say in this one, because like we're not a marginalized group in this kind of sense too. So I think if there was like a survey targeted more towards people who face discrimination and like safety issues on a broader sense, like how they would feel comfortable with that too. Like I think that was something to do, like see, like, because like for like a guy, like you're not really subjected to danger in like any sense of way, but we know that like if you are gender fluid or identify as like cis female, like there are like issues there. So I would like probably get more of their input, because I feel like those things would affect them more than just typical cis males. That's just my opinion. I don't know if anybody feels similar. I don't know if that was an ignorant statement, so let me know.
Secretary Gonzalez.
Yeah, kind of like similar to Senator Ewing. Like personally, like I said, I hope this doesn't make me sound ignorant or like a bigot anyway. However, just me personally, I would also feel a little bit uncomfortable. I know my partner's college, their bathroom situation has like gender neutral stalls that I use. Any person can come in and use. It's just one person at a time though. So that, I mean, I don't know, that makes me more comfortable than just having free for all, if that makes sense.
Vice President Theory.
I definitely respect what Senator Ewing and Secretary have said. I think, right, this will make people uncomfortable. It would probably make me uncomfortable, but I think we have to recognize that the people that have been marginalized, partly to Vice President Nathaniel's point, like I feel like what they've had to go through is more important than our lack of comfort. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way at all, but I think, we often kind of look at marginalized folks the way they have, go through life and say, oh, that makes me uncomfortable. And that's true, it does. But I think this presents an opportunity for folks to become, better educated about issues that folks have to face. And I think to Vice President Charter Harris's point, where I disagree a little bit, I think, how we typically think about men, are not marginalized. But I think, when you think about the trans community and trans men, I think, they and trans women, often find themselves in difficult situations when it comes to the bathroom. And I think, if we had something like this, it would be important to have a lot of conversations about it and why it's important. And I think a senator brought up the point of, making sure that the doors are, all the way to the ground and you can't see and things like that. But, there's a lot of data that also shows the vast majority of sexual assaults do not occur in the bathroom. They occur, outside when people are walking home, things like that. So I think that's also something that's important to keep in mind.
Real
Senator-
quick. Real quick, I just want to respond to Senator Chetri's question in the comment section. I agree with his question about the gaps that in the doors that we currently have. That has not come up in discussion yet. However, that could definitely be something that is raised when we get to the interior design aspect of the restrooms.
Senator Doris.
I think my question was just more clarification of the space and the layouts. So I guess, I don't know if everyone's been in the valleys, but kind of, or no, not valleys, but the Valley Dining Center and their bathroom. You have the males and the women's and you go in, but they're not connected in the middle. Like, I don't think I'm opposed to this idea yet, but like some of the suggestions in the comments sounds like nice and just good for everyone's comfort, but also having like just the different bathroom sets, kind of like in some buildings there is a gender neutral bathroom, but there's also like the women's bathroom and the male's bathroom. That not something that was discussed within the plans for the building space.
Was that a question?
Yes.
Okay. So currently the design of the restrooms is a male wing, a female wing, and then two individual separate non-gendered restrooms. However, this could also be considered exclusive as only individuals who go in there might be stereotyped as non-gender conforming. That was a concern that was brought up.
Cool. Mr. Chris Sly.
I just wanted to chime in onto Senator Chetri's comment. I put a response in there, and so hopefully folks saw that. Just want to thank you all for your maturity in handling this conversation, and so you all role modeling sometimes in a lot of national conversations, things like that. There's not a maturity that's handled and taken to this question, or this what's being proposed, and so I just wanted to just congratulate you all on being able to share a spectrum of different concerns, thoughts, questions. So I appreciate that the seriousness of the conversation. So just wanted to thank you all for that.
Thank you. I'm not seeing anyone else, so I do have my own input, as rare as that is. So I was thinking about like what Vice President Theory had said, and he's right. There are a good deal of marginalized people who we do need to think about. However, I think it's not a solution. I think the end goal is to ensure that everyone has comfort, and that's the point, I would think, of the gender inclusive bathrooms, for our non-binary friends or transgender friends and so on and so forth. But I think if we I think there should be a solution out there that does work for the comfort of everyone, including, cis women and stuff like that, who might feel uncomfortable, or, which brings me over to Vice President Charter Harris's idea of a survey geared towards not only, I think, just women, like cisgendered women, but transgender women, non-binary people, those who would be most, those marginalized groups as a whole. But that's, of course, just an opinion. I think, yeah.
Thank you very much, Speaker Shapiro.
That doesn't make me sound bad either.
Unfortunately, due to the timeliness of the project, the ability to write a survey and send it out to those individuals would be difficult. We're trying to have feedback quickly within the next week or two. So at this point, if it's okay with the speaker, I'd like to launch a poll for students to be in favor of changing to the non-gendered style bathrooms. You can vote in favor or in opposition. Once again, in favor is changing it to the non-gendered style, and opposition would be keeping it as would be, for example, in Sangren. Yes, cabinet can vote on this as you are students.
Can you repeat? I'm sorry, I was trying to read the chat. Can you repeat what in favor and opposition mean?
In favor is changing to the non-gendered style. In opposition is keeping it as is with a male and a female wing and only one or two non-gender restrooms. waiting on 3 people, I think. Speaker Shapiro, can you cast a vote? I'm not sure if you can see it or not.
Yeah, I casted mine.
Awesome. I know with co-host and everything like that, it can be weird sometimes. Thank you very much for your feedback. I do plan on bringing this up in the House as well to get their opinion. I really appreciate all of that. Thank you.
Thank you. And to echo what Chris said, this actually was a really good conversation, a very professional one that we had. So I'm glad. I'm glad that we had this. And thank you all for participating. With that said, we'll move on with the agenda, unless anyone has anything else they'd like to say leading out of this. That's a good question, Senator Doris. That's a good question to ask. Well, assuming they're okay, assuming they're out and open and okay about it. But anyone to get the input of those people, if there are any here who are non-gender conforming and comfortable being out about it. Yeah. Anyway, not seeing anyone wanting to vocalize anything else, we'll move on with the agenda. So, approval of the minutes. Does anyone like to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you. Could I get a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Can I get consent?
Consent.
Opposition? None. Okay, approval of the agenda, our very tiny agenda this week.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second, anyone? Can I get a second? Do you not like my agenda?
Second.
It's a treat. It's a sure. Okay, thank you. Consent. Can we get opposition? Hearing none, seeing none. Okay, cool. We have no guest speakers and no unfinished business, and that brings us to an extended committee breakout of 30 minutes. So we'll begin that now.
Hey y'all, sorry, my sister's talking to me about a crisis and it's heating up. Okay, stop. Just let me. She is having a crisis. Not a big crisis, it's fine. But I was heating up Chinese food and I forgot to get the link to go to the breakout rooms. Can someone drop it again? And then I logged off.
Yeah, I'll do that for you.
Thank you so much.
How are you? Otherwise, how are you otherwise?
I'm okay.
What is
I'm
that? What are you eating?
trying leftover Chinese food. My laptop broke this weekend. I spilled water on it, so I didn't do like any schoolwork this weekend because I didn't have a laptop, and then I had to go buy a laptop, and so I'm just kind of behind in life, but that's okay.
Gotcha. Did it come up in the chat? Do you see it?
No. But I'm excited to go to the debate tonight, and I think Eric got all the software stuff, so I think it'll be good. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Are we still waiting on anyone? I'm not sure. I guess we were, because here they come. All right. We can move on unless President West really does want to do an icebreaker, which we can do. I'm happy with an icebreaker, but I don't have any, so that's the problem. No, I don't hear anything. Okay, we'll just move on. Share my screen. And we'll be out of here in no time. All right. New business. So questions or concerns. This is like just if any of you have any questions or concerns regarding anything like WSA related or anything at all for that matter. This is the time to voice those questions and or concerns. So I'll open it up for those who would like to do this, to do so. If they'd like to ask questions, if they have a concern. Vice President Theory, please.
Yeah, this isn't a concern that well, it is a concern that I have, but mainly it's a concern that I've been hearing from other folks around graduation and the desire to do something in person. I have had some conversation with Carol Wood, who's the chair of or the lead on the COVID task force. There is no possibility that commencement will be in person. Obviously, that's online. We all know that, but they are exploring options to have some smaller events in person with departments, potentially colleges. So hopefully more information to come on that soon. But I wanted to let everyone know that I did echo those frustrations with Kara, and they are working to try to hold some sort of in-person recognition of our graduating students.
Thank you. Well, there's some hope for those who are graduating. And you're right, Senator Busall-Chetry. If we can definitely do the Senate chill out time, we would just have to amend the agenda. I didn't think, really think to add it. Because they're so short, but we definitely can do that. I have no problem doing another Senate chill out, but let's finish up questions and concerns, and then I can entertain a motion to do so. Any other questions, concerns from anyone? Questions, concerns about WSA, about me, hate how I run this, whatever, lay it on me. Questions, concerns about the election that
I do have one concern, and that is that the speaker is not wearing green.
That's right. Yeah. So as I said before everyone got here, thank you, Senator Ewing. Much to my regret, after I sent my message in the Slack, I realized and noticed so much that I don't own any green clothing items. So that puts me at risk of criticism. So I'm on the board. Anyone can. We see Senator Ewing and Secretary Gonzalez are already at it. They're here. They're here to get me. Yeah, it would have been a good thing to notice. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about if I had green things. So yeah, hit me hard. Be as derogatory as you want. I don't care. Take me down a notch. Do I hear an impeachment? We'll start the impeachment trial immediately because I did not wear green. Who wants to write up those articles? That's funny. Do a roast session. Oh, Arthur, that's funny. I like that, Arthur. Get the meme with the fist. Alicia's going in. I'm sensing some pent up anger. I'm sensing some pent up anger. So right, that was a good concern that Vice President Effinger brought up. So come at me, everyone. I guess. No, I know you're not. It's funny though. You're on fire there. Anyone else have any other criticisms of me? They can go through that the entire meeting. I don't care. But we also have other questions and concerns people can arise while I'm being quote unquote roasted. So let's have it. Are we talking about abs? When did that come up? We're just talking about abs. All right. COVID don't allow it. Yeah, it's not. All right. Any other questions, concerns? None at all. Not seeing any. Any election concerns? I have one question for our vice president for rules, bylaws, and administration, if she's here, regarding the election. How are we running the election for Lee's Honors College? Like the Lee Honors College? How are they? Do they run? Because I assume all the students there, do they vote for their own college and then Lee Honors, or what's like when it comes to senators?
Yeah, so it is set up for your primary academic college. Let me pull up real quick if we have anyone running for the Lee Honors College.
Because we have some Lee Honor senators now, so I don't know if they're running the same or, but like how they get voted on if everyone's voting for their primary educational college.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, so we do not have anyone registered to run for the Lee Honors College as of right now. So there will be a special election near the end of the semester to elect in to fill the seats that are not filled through the election right now. So that is how those seats would be filled.
Okay, cool. Was just curious about that one. Alrighty, with that question answered, thank you, by the way. Do we know at which meeting the new? I don't know that question. Who would know that question, though? That's a good one, Vice President Theory. Which meeting will the new president and vice president be sworn in? Would anyone here know? Does anyone here know?
Yeah, it'll be the first meeting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You got it, President West.
Nope, you got it. You was our.
It's typically the first meeting after election week. So when we get back from spring break is likely when it'll occur.
Okay. So that being said, what about the sitting Senate? Do we dissolve for the new incoming Senate?
The seating.
You got it.
The Senate that is currently in their seats, their term lasts through the semester, which is why they will be the ones to do the confirmations in the special election for our senators for next year. So anyone that has a seat right now, your term is through this semester.
Okay. And then Senator Busall, Shetry, you had a question?
Oh, okay. So I think I already sent you a message on Slack. But if you go on the WSA website and on the funding section, I think is it a typo or we forgot to correct it under the funding bylaws. Prerequisites to apply for funding, it says the RSO must have one registered WSA senator that attends weekly WSA meeting, but we cannot have a senator for every RSO. So we should be sent to the representative in-house. So I don't know how to make that
yeah, so he showed me this the other day. There's what document was that again?
It is on bylaws.
The allocation bylaws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess the allocation bylaws say in there that each Senate or each RSO needs an RSO senator and not a representative. I think that's just a semantics issue.
It is in both of the WSA Allocation Commission bylaws and Allocation 101. There is mistake on both of these.
So something to keep in mind for someone.
I can speak to that a little bit. It's probably just outdated since we didn't change that when we made the switch to a bicameral legislature this past year. So that can be changed. So thank you for bringing that up.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I remember because when I was like almost 1 year ago, we used to have all the senators from the House, from each RSO. But since we have changed to the new system with the senators and the representative, I think they need to be. We need to make changes on the bylaws.
Yeah, I think that was just a semantic issue, but thank you for bringing that up. We'll have that changed up, but very vigilant. So thank you, sir. So do we have anyone else? President West, what time are the debates? The debates tonight. President West asks. I don't know off the top of my head. It's like 7 and then 8.
Vice presidential is at 6 p.m. and the presidential is at 8 p.m. They're both an hour long with an hour break in between them. And I was going to say something else. Oh, yes, you can watch them live on our YouTube or on our Instagram. Eric, I know you have those links if you want to drop those in the chat.
Give me a few seconds to pull that up.
Cool. And then someone asked about the Senate tomorrow. I believe that's 7 p.m. To which
7 p.m. over Zoom. So yes, that will be live streamed to our YouTube as well. You can get that just like you get these meetings on YouTube.
And so good luck to all those senators who are debating. Not that there's like a competition, but have fun. Have fun. That said, do we have any more questions? I don't see any other than who's tuning in to the debates. If there are no more questions, because I don't see any more, then we can call this good information flowing, good questions answered. We can entertain a motion to do the Senate chill out if someone wants to do that, or we can move on. I will listen patiently for 5 to 10 seconds. Hearing none, seeing none, then we will move on with the agenda, which no announcements. Woot. Notes from the senators. So if senators have anything they want to shout out, 30-second shout out. Just go back to saying it, calling them that. If anyone has a 30-second shout out, please go ahead and do so now. Seeing none. Oh, wait, Senator Gonzalez, did you have something? A question back there for Secretary Gonzalez? Did I miss you? Speak.
I did not, no.
Oh, I saw moi and I was like, question. But okay.
I was just replying to Taylor.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, seeing none, hearing none in regards to notes from the senators, we have notes from cabinet. So if cabinet members have anything they'd like to add, Vice President Theory.
This is the last time you will hear me say this because dinner with the delegates or donuts with the delegates, as we should have named it, but didn't because I don't know why, is this Friday from 12 to 2 at the Miller Plaza. It's going to be a little bit warm, not super warm, but the weather should be decent. We're going to have State Representative Christine Moore, State Senator Sean McCann, staffer from Gary Peters' office. A little birdie told me that President Montgomery may be there for some of the event. Vice President Jeff Brenneman, Associate Vice President Kitty John, Carol Wood. So a lot of folks, a lot of delegates, a lot of Western folks will be there and come and ask them questions and create some dialogue. If you are interested in coming, please register on Experience WMU. You can just look up Dinner with the Delegates or search Western Student Association, and I hope to see you there.
Cool. Vice President Eagle.
Voting is starting next Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and ends on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can vote through Experience WMU.
Right on. President West.
Got a couple events to uplift here. Tomorrow, Vice President Chelsea Spayman and I will be hosting our part 2 to our environmental justice panel discussion. I am dropping the Zoom link for you all to access the discussion tomorrow. Save this to whatever note-taking thing you may have on your computer, but that's the access link for tomorrow's conversation. Again, it's from 4 to 5:30 p.m. and we'll be talking about environmental racism and the intersectionality that leads to Kalamazoo, and then some action that we can do behind that as student leaders. And then I'm dropping a registration link in the chat for the Lewis Walker Institute's Advocacy Day event that they're having on Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 11, essentially helping you become advocates in your own backyard. And this will be a follow-up event to CAB's event happening also tomorrow at 7, which is the student advocacy panel that I will be sitting on. So you definitely should check that out. But again, this registration link I'm dropping down in the chat right now is for the encore event for the Lewis Walker Institute's Advocacy Day Summit. And then with that, I yield. Actually, just kidding. Please go to the debates, tune in, ask your questions, because it's going to be a fun time. And with that, I yield.
Yeah, actually, speaking of the debates, I didn't even think about it. I'll canceling my office hours tonight for those who would want to go to those. Instead, go to the debates because those are cooler and more interesting than sitting and talking with me. So moving on. Anyone else from cabinet? Seeing none, hearing none, unless I missed some, in which case please speak up. I will entertain a motion to adjourn at 5:16 p.m.
Motion to adjourn at 5:16 p.m.
Second.
Second.
Consent?
Consent.
Opposition? Cool. We have adjourned at 5:16 p.m. Everyone enjoy your evening. Everyone's rushing out of here. Look at that. So crazy. All right. All right. Bye, everyone.
Eric, could you stay on for 1 second?
Bye, Arthur.
Rush. Eric, I just wanted to see if you got my email about sending the panelists emails, their individual panelist link.
I did see